Caring for people was at the core of who he was. He was incapable of causing harm. Alex carried patience, compassion, and calm as a steady light within him. Even at the very end, that light was there. I recognized his familiar stillness and signature calm composure.
Welcome to GunStuff. I'm your host, Chris Swainhart, and this is GunStuff TV. Hey, we appreciate you guys watching. We are here to arm America, one law-abiding citizen at a time, and apparently maybe some not so law-abiding, as you just saw in our cold open. We'll be talking more about that in just moments. We've got a great show lined up for you today. One Horse, I don't know if you've heard of One Horse, but hey, they know something about firearms. Shoot for a Cure, we're really excited to have them. They are helping us mainstream the shooting sports, and that's important to all of us. And then HRT Tactical will be on the show. And as always, we appreciate gun owners of America. Making the rounds is this AI-altered picture of Alex Preddy. Now, this is what he looks like in real life on the left. They made him look real nice for social media. Basically, we are in a PSYOP, a warfare condition. That's no question about that, because they're doing anything they can to make this guy seem just so nice. In fact, you heard Elizabeth Warren in our cold open talking about just how sweet and wonderful this guy is and nonviolent. But hey, your eyes don't play tricks as far as I'm concerned, at least mine don't. And he's not really exactly the most upstanding individual, but the question is, as far as the GunStuff viewers, Donald Trump got on there, he says, you can't bring a gun to a protest. Now, is Trump right? Now, I'm not so sure about that. To make sense of it all is Luis Valdez from Gun Owners of America. Luis, glad to have you here.
Always a pleasure to be on the show, Chris. Thanks for having us.
Hey, Luis, I'm just wondering, this guy, he looks like kind of a troublemaker. He's not really a law-abiding kind of guy. He's advocating for folks breaking into our country, illegal aliens doing whatever the heck they want without recourse. But does he have the right to carry? That's what I want to know.
It comes down to a very simple thing. All Americans have the right to keep and bear arms and to exercise their First Amendment freedom of speech in a peaceful and respectful manner. No more, no less. Look, I myself, I've protested gun control. I've done it while armed, as have hundreds of thousands to millions of other law-abiding Americans. We have exercised our freedoms of speech. And the Founding Fathers completely understood that. Look, America is rooted in the idea of armed free speech, going all the way back to the colonial era. Even the Boston Tea Party was such a protest. But our stance is very simple. You could be armed. You could exercise your freedom of speech. Just do it in a respectful and lawful manner. Look, getting into a fight with law enforcement, that doesn't work. Impeding a law enforcement investigation, that doesn't work. But for the government to say, you and I cannot carry a firearm, period, while protesting, that's also wrong. And especially when the government was saying, well, you know, he carried 2 magazines. Look, I carry 2 magazines all the time. Here's one, here's the other. So the idea that we cannot carry spare mags or a firearm on us while exercising our rights is ludicrous, especially when we do it in a respectful and lawful manner. No more, no less.
You know, this was up in Minneapolis. It seems to me it wasn't that long ago. There was this young fella named Kyle Rittenhouse who was carrying a firearm in a protest. And, you know, he went through all kinds of grief for that. But I'm thinking that it's worth protecting our Second Amendment rights. What do you think, Louis?
Our Second Amendment rights aren't judged by a person's political past, their political persuasions, any of that. It's very simple. You and I have the right to keep and bear arms. We have the right to exercise our rights free of speech. And when people ask me, well, why do you do this? Why do you do it? It's the same thing when I respond to them. Why do you drive the convertible with the top down? Because you can. You're an American. You have that right and you have that freedom to do so. But, you know, just like driving the convertible with the top down, it doesn't mean you get to do 90 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour school zone and hit a bunch of kids. No, you don't. And exercising your freedom of speech and being an armed protester comes with the same rights and responsibilities. I have the right to petition my government with my grievances. I don't have the right to get into a fight with my government over those grievances when there's no standing and reasoning for it. We're not talking about tyranny here. We're not talking about dictatorship here. We're talking about the enforcement of immigration law, which that is a completely separate topic to discuss. But look, Americans have the right to exercise their First and Second Amendment rights. They're not separate. You can't exercise one without exercising the other. You can exercise both at the same time as long as you do it in a peaceful, respectful, and lawful manner. Yeah. That's our stance, and we're not changing.
What about this, Alex? How peaceful and nice was it when he was yelling at the ICE agents and then kicked out their taillight? Does he have a right to do that as part of the First Amendment, kick out the taillight and obstruct the ICE? What do you think? You know, it's up to a judge to decide, but on the whole, it doesn't really look too seemly to me.
Look, vandalizing government property, that ain't, last I checked, that's not part of the First Amendment.
Yeah.
Getting into a physical altercation, that's not part of the First Amendment. Yelling could be construed as part of the First Amendment. But again, it comes down to, are you impeding an active investigation? Look, people have the right to stand on street corners and public sidewalks and public roadways and yell. They do. Now, do they have to be heard? No. Do the recipients have to tolerate it? No. But people have the right to do so. And it's this balancing act. The government cannot violate our rights as long as we are acting within the social contract that is our society. And that's a social contract basically says that you and I can exercise our freedom of speech and be armed while doing it to protect ourselves both from criminal street thugs and from a truly tyrannical, repressive government.
Yeah, well,
but part of that comes down to not starting a ruckus with law enforcement over legitimate cases.
Yeah, of course. And that's what anyone with common sense would say. But of course, our president, who we thought was going to help us with all things Second Amendment, and don't get me wrong, they've done some good things, and we support our leaders. However, I think he's way off here where he says you can't bring a firearm to a protest. I'm sorry, that's wrong. Now, also, we thought that everything was going to be hunky-dory when we controlled both houses of Congress and the executive branch, but that's not really what it's working out to be. In Virginia, they're working very hard to take away our rights. In fact, Alex's rights would be taken away if what is going to happen, and I think it is going to happen. Can you weigh in on that for us, Louis?
You know, you bring up a great point with Virginia. Here you have a bunch of traditionally anti-gun lawmakers across the country now defending the Second Amendment. You have Gavin Newsom, you have Hochul out of New York, you know, all of these people. But let's look at Newsom as a prime example. He in the past proposed repealing the Second Amendment, but now he's claiming to defend it. Look, if all of these politicians really care about the Second Amendment and freedom, then they should stop submitting and filing and enforcing gun control legislation like what we're seeing being introduced in Virginia, what we're seeing being enforced in places like Washington, California, Illinois, New York, Washington, D.C., Oregon. You know, it's real simple. they should put their money where their mouth is. If they really believe in freedom, then they should stop restricting the people from owning firearms, accessing firearms, and carrying firearms. No more, no less. And GOA is going to fight in Virginia tooth and nail, just as we are fighting everywhere, because guess what? We're all Americans, and freedom doesn't stop at a state's borders, nor does it even stop at the country's shoreline, because we're even fighting in the U.S. Virgin Islands against an assault weapons ban being pushed down there.
So, Louis, we're here at the end. Thanks for your comments, and thanks for everything that Gun Owners of America are doing for us. Please tell our viewers how they can become a member of Gun Owners of America.
It's real simple. Just go to gunowners.org/join. It's $25 a year for an annual membership. And I can tell you this. Look, I spend more than $25 going through a Burger King drive-thru to get myself, my wife, and my kid dinner. So $25 going towards the fight is a great thing. But if people want to donate more, they can. And if people want to follow me on social media, it's Real FL Gun Lobby on X.
Well, thank you so much, Louis, and thanks to Gun Owners of America fighting for our rights. We'll have you back on again to tell us more about this issue. Thanks so much.
Always a pleasure, brother.
You guys stick around. There's more to come.
The next generation Gerson double stack Witness 2311 takes the 1911 design to the next level. Compatible with many 1911 slides, barrels, and parts, the Witness 2311 series is not a wolf in sheep's clothing double stack like much of the competition. Don't be fooled by the words double stack. Get a Witness 2311 for a true evolution of a 1911 double stack with match grade features. Find yours starting at just $749. To learn more, visit eaacorp.com.
Now, Scott, before we bring on your footage, what are we looking at on our homepage here? This is GunStuff.TV, right?
Yep, just GunStuff.TV, but you can go here and you can find a lot of resources and videos and stuff like that. All our shows that we have, long videos and documentary style videos that we do. But the main thing is you have the events page on the top tab there, and you can go to events and you can find a shooting event to go out and participate in just about anywhere. This is the largest list of shooting events on the planet. Every time we find a new event, we reach out to them. We get the dates, we add it to the list. So there should be something for everyone on here. If not, then we'll find it, you know. So this is where you go to find it, GunStuff.tv.
So Ursula, a lot of these events, is there much of a barrier to entry?
No, it's literally your courage. Like
Yep.
Actually, I had somebody come to the booth that I was working, and they were like, "Hey, I want to get in the competition. What's going to be the hardest part?" I'm like, showing up.
Yep.
Literally just show up. You don't have to overthink this. Just literally show up. Once you show up, everything else will smooth itself out because
Everything else works out. People will help you. They'll
People
guide
will help
you.
Guide
Yep.
you. I've literally held hands for people first matches. Like, I will hold your hand going stage to stage. Literally, physically held their hand as we walked from one stage to the other. So, like, I'm going that level just to get more people into the shooting sports. And, like, it's not that scary.
And
You're
you can
just making it
search-
scarier.
She's talking about me. That's what she did with me. She was like, she held my hand walking from stage to stage.
And you can search your local community, find
Yes.
something near you. Usually, maybe there's a $25 fee, but it's just fun. And I think it's more than just shooting at a paper target. It's
There's still targets, there's activators, there's moving targets.
and there's friends.
Yes.
You're going to make all
There's
kinds
a
of
huge
friends.
community, like a whole bunch of people that's also in your same shoes. It could also not just be your first match. It's probably, half a dozen of y'all for your first match, and y'all all decide to show up on the same day. That happens a lot. So the biggest thing is you showing up.
And training is a big part of it, Scott.
Scott's
Here
no
you
training.
are this week.
Yeah. So this is so we're snowed in. We're snowed in here in Kentucky. You can't really see the temperature on there, but it was like 13 or 11 degrees or something like that. And so I just grabbed my rifle and put my kit on and went out for a run. So be working up to doing a run and gun in just a month or so. So I'm just trying to keep myself up and stay in shape and try out out a new upper. This isn't really new. It's a 6mm ARC, Faxon upper with suppressor. But the thing is what I'm going to try to run in the next competition. So I'm getting out and I'm putting some time in, some trigger time, and just working out my gear, because I'm running in a weighted vest, because the next one you're required to carry at least 25 or 30 pounds or 35 pounds or something like that. So I got like 35, 40 pounds in that vest. And I'm just
what about
around.
this around my midriff? Wouldn't that count?
Yeah. You have to have the weight on you. You have to be carrying it, and it doesn't include your firearms, and so you have to take those off.
I'm not gonna lie, that belt you're running looks kind of familiar.
Yep. Yep.
Nudge, nudge.
Yep. Absolutely. And so the thing is just to get out and get in the snow, get used to trudging through this. I mean, usually I can cruise up these hills and down these hills really fast, but you're running in the snow, and it's only like 6-7 inches deep, maybe 8 inches in some spots, but that really slows you down, and just getting used to that repetition.
Okay, yes. Scott, we're going to have to leave it there. You folks stick around. There's more to come from GunStuff. And welcome to the show, shootforacure.us. Now, Mark is with us. We're kind of excited to have you on because you're the living example of who we want people to come and visit, because you have an event. Do you not, Mark? Tell us about it.
Yes, sir. We do 22 to 25 events coast to coast each year, sporting clays shooting, which, in my opinion, everybody is a sporting clays shooter. They just don't know it yet. They have to get out and try it because it's so much fun. And we raise a bunch of money for charity. And the best part for us, is we're raising money for charity, and we're bringing new people to the shooting sports. I get all the time, we get people that never shot before, never shot clays before. Last time they shot was Grandpa's 1100 when they were 12 years old. And I even got people that are anti-gun. I got people that don't own guns that will come out because their organization, their union, their company sends them out to represent the company. And they show up to us like, I've never done this. I have no idea. We're like, we got you. Come on. All my guys are certified instructors. We take them out. We've got all the latest shotguns from all of our great sponsors. We find a shotgun that fits them. We make sure they're safe. They understand how it works. We take them out. We walk them in to break in a couple targets. And at the end of the day, it's always the same thing. I didn't know it would be like this. I had a great time. And when you coming back? So they say the same three things all the time.
Yeah, that's excellent. So, Mark, tell us, what kind of cure are you talking about? And you are a 501c3 raising funds. Tell our viewers, what type of cure you're looking for.
Well, Shoot for a Cure is the name of the nonprofit, and we've raised money for leukemia. We've raised money for MS. Our main charity now is March of Dimes, which is healthy moms, strong babies. The United States is one of the most dangerous countries in the world to have children. It's like, there's crazy things like two women die every day, one baby dies every hour. It's just these crazy statistics you read. And so it's all about prenatal care. It's about March of Dimes being in every hospital. There's a March of Dimes office, the new mobile health units to get out into the rural areas and to provide prenatal care, which is so important to make sure that, you have a healthy, happy baby. So it's been a blessing. We've raised money for, 2 veterans organizations, one Freedom Hunters. We do an event for them for vets that come back with, PTSD and things like that. And we get them out and get them with a brotherhood, a group of guys. I'm a Navy veteran, so, we get people out, get them together. We raise money for scholarships for working class kids to go to college. Basically, we're a turnkey operation. We got a 90-foot truck and trailer rig, and it's got everything you need except a course to host an event. And we make a big loop around the country, 3,000-mile loop each year. And it's like one big family. Every place we go, it's this great family. And they're like, "Oh, you guys are back. We can't wait. Oh, man, I'm so excited." And it's just been I always tell people it's the great surprise of my adult life. If you'd asked me 24 years ago if I'd have been doing this, it was just one event just to get together and do it. And it was such a hit. We started getting calls. "Hey, bring that event here. Come here, come there." So we had to figure out the road show. And so now I got 20 instructors. I pull 6 or 7 for each road trip. And we'll roll in and we'll do 3-4 events in 10 days in 3 different states. And then we'll fly home and the driver will drive the trailer to the next one. So we make this big loop around the country.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And you know what?
It is.
Scott, I think this sounds like something that ought to be on the GunStuff.TV calendaring app.
Yep.
What do you think, Scott?
Absolutely. Do we not have it on there? Is it not on this?
Maybe
if not,
not.
we're going to add it.
I think Scott and I need to email each other after this podcast because I got some other stuff for you. But we raised $1.75 million net for charity last year. And since we started this in 2003, we are 12.5 million net for charity.
Awesome.
So I'm really proud of that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. I just can't believe it. And the thing is, you don't think much about it, with shooting sports and the volunteers and fundraising and stuff like that. But we got a lot of good people that want to get out and support these organizations. And so when you see them, go out and do the shoot. So
and then on top of that, sporting clays. So if you're like any true competitor or competition shooter, you're going to dabble in other disciplines to get good at your main jam. And that's actually one thing that I did was I actually took up sporting clays running my 3-gun shotgun, which is a Benelli M2 with a 24-inch barrel. And granted, typically you're out there with like just loading 2 shells at a time. I was out there loading like the whole tube. I'm just like, because I'm out here for practice for 3-gun. So I learned. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, you guys had Lanny Barnes on a week or two ago. Lanny and I are old friends, and she came out to our shoot one time, and she'd never shot clays before. But after she started shooting a little bit, she's like, "Oh, I got this. This is fun.
Well,
this is cool."
The cool thing with clays is that, and also using the skills there in that sport for another sport, is I learned a lot about shotgun chokes. I learned a lot about patterning my ammo. I learned like different velocities and like different pellet size, like how much all this stuff matters. And it was literally just from sporting clays. I wouldn't have learned that in 3-gun at this rate I was going. So I had to learn that stuff to be better at 3-gun. And it was actually pretty cool going out there with a Benelli M2 with a, plus 12 tube. And everybody's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." So it's actually really awesome game. Awesome game.
Yeah, my funnest part is first time I ever shot any clays. I was on a SWAT team and we had an entry Benelli, a little short barrel Benelli, but we were trying to hit him. And I was the sniper on that team, and I couldn't hit. I didn't hit a single clay all day, and I was so frustrated. I was like, "What's going on?" I was so mad. And other people just up there just winging it and popping them. But the thing is that you guys will be able to show people, "Hey, this is how you lead it."
This how you lead it.
Once someone took the time to show me, they didn't want to show me at the time because they were teammates and they just wanted to see me fail. But the thing is, it's so they could rub it in a little bit, But the thing is you guys can help walk people through it and get them on, because once you get a hang of it, it's not as difficult as it would seem.
No.
And regardless of age, look here, we got some young kids.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was going to say the pictures you're showing, a lot of them are of our shooting game, the Flurry. And that's the highlight of the whole show, because everybody shoots a 100-round course, but then we have the shooting game. And what we do is we put the whole team in there. We fill the sky with targets for 30 seconds.
Oh, that is cool.
And they win raffle tickets. Now, then White Flyer sends us these flash targets, so they go poof when they go off. They get extra bonus tickets. And now last year, Caldwell sent us the new clay copter. So my guy will jump up in between the shooters and scream, "Bonus birds!" And he shoots them. These things are like pizza wheels. They go, And then if you break it, we give them a whole arm stretch full of tickets to win a shotgun or a crossbow. It's so much fun. I could stand there all day and just laugh at people. It's the best part.
Awesome.
It sounds amazing.
That is awesome.
Hey, so Mark, we're here almost at the end. So if people want to get involved and learn more, now we know, of course, it's not going to be many more days that we'll have all of these events on GunStuff.tv. We'll follow up with you. We'll get it on there. But until that time, and even afterwards, people want to learn more about Shoot for a Cure. Where do they go?
That cool little website that's right below my face.
Yeah.
And that doesn't help our podcast listeners, so you'll have to tell them.
Shootforacure.us. And we're on Facebook. We're on Instagram, we're on X, we're on LinkedIn, we're on all of them. And shootforacure.us, there's some awesome little videos on there that we've got, and event results and flyers for the upcoming events in our schedule. So, and we would love to invite all you all to come out anytime you want and shoot with us. Just let me know you're coming. You know, day off, you don't have to film, just come out and have fun, because we love to introduce new people to our program.
Okay,
Nice.
Thanks, Mark. We're going to have to leave it there. And you folks stick around.
Mark.
There's more to come from Gun Stuff.
But the one thing I can tell you about my family, it's bred into us. We're not quitters.
Facts and Firearms.
Well, welcome to the show.
Sorry.
Now, this is from your neck of the woods, Scott, so I'm going to let you welcome. Who are these fellas?
Yeah, so this is One Horse, and we have Kyle Wade and Jeremy Hammonds on. Thank you guys for joining us. So you guys used to work for another rifle manufacturer, and they were bought out, and you guys went out and started your own. So we would just love to hear about One Horse, the story, and what kind of products you guys make and what you offer.
Sounds good. First of all, we want to thank y'all for having us. Shoot for a Cure is kind of a tough act to follow, so we'll try our best. But Kyle and I both actually worked for Anderson Manufacturing in a previous life. So kind of my backstory, I started there in 2012, early on in its inception. Chris and I actually did a lot of work together. And through that time, as it was coming towards the end there, I really, was feeling the need to jump out and do things on my own. I had seen some of the people that I had worked with in the past, dealers, distributors, customers, friends, peers, and kind of saw, the do's and the don'ts and some of the different things. And one of the things that we kind of recognized in we'll call it the budget space of the AR community, is it was a race to zero. You have everybody chasing the dollar. Mm-hmm. They're trying to cheapen up their gun as much as they can. And sometimes the end consumer is not really aware of what parts are on their firearm, so to speak. Because there's some imported parts that make their way in. Everybody's trying to, chase a dollar and drive that price to zero, and losing really the integrity of why we got into this space to begin with. And us at Anderson, being an all-American made manufacturer, fighting that all the time was frustrating at times, because, we're making this stuff, other people are not, and it's driving our price down. So with One Horse, what we decided to do, I partnered up with Drew Markle. Drew used to work for a company called Fostech out of Indiana, who also plays in this space and makes very good product. And he and I kind of, shared a vision of what we wanted to see in this budget space and do, all American made. We don't want to play with the imported products. We don't want to do anything. And honestly, we're not trying to be the tactical guys or chase the SF crowd or those guys. We're just regular dudes that like to go out and shoot and have fun and run around with our buddies and do fun things. And, Kyle being a Marine, Army, we got some other Army guys, Kyle, him and Scott and the Marines, we, nothing but love for you guys. But we're just regular dudes, and we know this industry. I've got a Rolodex of people that I've worked with from a manufacturing front, from a customer standpoint, and we wanted to find that joy again in what we do. And we wanted to kind of make a stand on our own on, we're going to draw the line. The hill we're going to die on is American made. And we will not put anything other than American made products on our firearms. It's just something that we believe wholeheartedly in. We feel like, honestly, with the current administration and the things going on, some of those budget brands that are out there that are not playing in the American space are going to have to start, because tariffs are going to start, affecting them and doing different things. And ultimately, they're going to have to come to the American made side. So we're just trying to be that brand that, it's for everybody.
Good.
It's for your average guy, average girl, anybody that wants to just get out and shoot.
So Kyle, you heard us at the beginning of the show talking to gun owners of America. We're always fighting for our rights. What is it about these firearms that somehow gets the dander up of the left? Because they're just very functional. Do they deserve the bad rap? What do you think, Kyle?
Well, obviously, I'm a little biased. I don't think they do, but I could definitely throw myself in their shoes. From an outsider perspective, they're scary. You understand what their capabilities are. I think the difference between us and them is that we're in the industry. We're comfortable with the firearm. We know how to operate them safely. We know how to maintain them. Everything you need to know to operate and function a firearm. And being outside and not having that knowledge, it could seem scary. If I didn't have that knowledge, I looked at a rifle, maybe I would be terrified. But now that I know what I do, they don't deserve that rap, Chris. They don't.
No. Yeah, and the thing is, I think that, every person that's served in the military in the last 40, 45, 50 years has been introduced to this rifle. That's why that's why we all own them. That's why we buy them, because all the people that have served over the years have been trained on this rifle. We know we know immediate action. We know how to load them. We know how to unload them. We know how to be safe with them. And I think that's the main reason why, is because that's the rifle that the military picked. That's what they've trained on. That's what we've worked on. And you guys, congratulations on you starting up a new one, and I love it. It looks great. It looks fantastic.
So AR, does that stand for America's Rifle? I'm just wondering.
It should be at this point.
I'm thinking so, because this really is America's rifle, isn't it, Jeremy?
I would have to agree with you on that one, Chris. I mean, we were all at SHOT Show. I fortunately avoided the plague. Sorry, Ursula, that she came back with.
I literally fight for my life trying not to cough on this broadcast.
Yeah, we're hitting the mute button all the time.
It might be my first time in 12 years that I haven't came back with the crud. So knock on wood that it doesn't come through this podcast. My first one,
not around druggies, not around homeless, not around people with like gonorrhea syphilis. I go to SHOT and I'm like sick. I'm like, oh, this is great. But I do have one request from y'all, because the name is One Horse. If y'all do decide to make a PCC, please call it the Pony. That's all I'm asking. Just one little thing. Just say it.
We've got a lot of horse puns in the stable, so just stay tuned.
Thank you.
We've got a lot in the works. We're actually we're getting ready to come out with our suppressor line as well, so stay tuned for the 4 Horsemen.
Dude, I swear, if y'all not doing like a Kentucky Derby like release, I'm just throwing it out there. Y'all have so much I can pull. Just lean into it.
We're hoping to have Kyle sitting on a miniature pony at SHOT Show next year. So,
that'd be awesome. That'd be so awesome. It'd be like or just have make like the little mailbox jockeys, and that'll be y'all swag. I am totally down.
There you go.
A mailbox jockey holding an AR, that'd be freaking awesome.
So when you guys thinking it dropping your suppressors? So you're gonna have 5.56 and 308 suppressors.
That's a whole nother episode talking about suppressors, because the suppressor market.
We should be, as long as production is on track as it is right now, we should be ready in the next 3 weeks. And then we've got some short barrel stuff, different calibers. We're working on AR-10s, AR-9s. So there's nothing off the table with us. We've got a tight group. All industry folks. Everybody's right now, what's awesome about our team is we are all doing things, Kyle, to his credit, we've got other guys that are at our facility that are helping out with everything. Everyone's rolling up their sleeves. I mean, we're staying, Kyle and myself and another guy. I mean, we have an apartment by the warehouse because we're there day and night right now. So we're kind of living like bachelors. I mean, we're sitting in lawn chairs, and I think we hit our TV every now and then when the static comes in. But other than that,
I know with that storm.
You guys are crash pad, man. I've been through it. I've done it. I've done it for years. Yep.
Hey, but everybody's rolling up their sleeves and wearing multiple hats. And
we're going to have to leave it there because we're already at the end. So, Jeremy, where do people go? Our podcast listeners, where can they find you on the interweb?
I'm going to divert that question, Chris, to my marketing guy, Kyle, down here, because he knows all the plugs. Go ahead, my man.
TheOneHorse.com and follow us at The One Horse.
All right. Well, that sounds great. Hey, we'll have you back. Now, look, the gun stuff range is not very far from you, so it's not going to be long. Let's wait till it gets a little warmer, and then we'll take that down to Scott.
Start doing those negative 30-degree tests. Do it. Just go ahead.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much, and we'll have you on next time. Stick around. There is more from Gun Stuff.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show, HRT Tactical. We've tried to get you on before, it didn't work out, but Chris Poindexter, thanks for being on our show, Chris.
Well, as always, it's an honor and a pleasure, and going towards the end, it's always a tough act to follow with the guests, so.
I know.
Yeah, but you got some pretty cool gear. And Scott, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I recognize some gear on the shoot.
So like his little snow bunny shooting over here.
Snow bunny, yeah. Yep.
What was that snow bunny wearing there, Scott?
Yeah, so I was wearing the HRT plate carrier with their new chest rig and the belt that they had sent in, and the mag carrier. So I run HRT gear regularly, and I run it in my running guns whenever I'm required to run those, and the belts and stuff like that. And their new belt is fantastic. This is their new one, and he's going to talk about it here in a second. But they hit a home run with that one.
Hey, so Chris, tell us about HRT Tactical. What does it stand for? How did you get started? What is your core? What got things going for you?
All right, so the company originally started in the 2007-2008 timeframe. Started as a training company. We were predominantly instructors with military, law enforcement backgrounds. And as we started to grow that side of the company, someone very, very wise said that every tactic changes within 3 years. So as the company started to get a little bit older, we started to go and look at it in a different way. We ran a lot of different plate carriers, belts, holsters, and we started to come up with ideas about things that, in our opinion, we could make better. The biggest push with the company is to be able to get 90% or more of all of our products US made. So since 2021, we've made a huge investment in hiring people within the Columbus, Ohio area. We have started to increase our production designs in-house instead of having to send it to a prototyping company. And our goal is to be as US efficient as possible by the end of 2026. And that starts from 2024, where all of our belts, all of our belt products, the majority of our plate carrier options, our placards, they're all produced in the Columbus, Ohio area.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Yep.
Sorry, it's,
now,
I was cruising the website because because the one thing that I do personally need is another tourniquet holder. So for a bag.
Ursula, you know how to get in touch with me.
I know.
You know, we'll hook you up.
So of course I got to bring it up because y'all do a lot of pouches, basically a lot of textiles, and I would bring it up if y'all didn't hear about it. There was a stabbing at SHOT Show, and everybody, their mom is like, "Oh, tourniquets." Everybody needs tourniquets. I'm like, y'all should already have tourniquets. But
I didn't know there was a stabbing.
I'll tell you what, not a better place to get not a better place to get cut. I'll tell you what. If people were jumping out with tourniquets and first aid and everything else, that was great. Yeah, I seen it.
I hope they put a whooping on whoever did that.
yeah, details are still coming out just like any other real investigation. But the biggest thing was that like how medical, there was regular Joe Blow civilians that had medical training that actually responded, and they had
jumped in with tourniquets and put it on his arm,
t-shirts, stopped the bleeding. Yeah.
Hey, well, you are your own first responder. Now, Scott, hey, you had one of these belts, didn't you?
Yes.
Let's zoom in on you.
Yeah. So this thing is super lightweight. So it has this little carbon fiber rigidity piece here, but then all the way around you have the Molly inserts, whatever that these are that you insert and weave all your pouches and stuff through. But these pouches are really convenient because they just have the elastic on the sides. You just put it in there, push it down. They always stay. They don't slip out. I've had some of these before where magazines, as you're running, they'll slip out and stuff. They've nailed it down with the right texture of materials, the right consistency with the stretch material and all that. But this thing is incredibly light. The whole belt. I'm just sitting here waving it around. It doesn't feel like anything. So, but this piece here, what is this, Kydex or
so the core material is something called Curve.
Okay.
We used to use a material called Tegris. The biggest issue with Tegris is the grayish silver color. Since we like to push more towards the law enforcement and working towards trying to get more stuff in military members' hands, gray/silver colors aren't always that great. At the competition shooting level, that's perfectly fine. You get to see all kinds of fun colors there. But a lot of our feedback, and that's one big thing that we really try to do. So once we come out with an initial product, we are going to take every single piece of criticism seriously, and then we start to compile that. We want to see what are the common complaints, what can we do better? And the HR ARC 2.0 took all that feedback from the 1.0, made it a self-compartmentalized belt so there's less assembly for it, kept a lot of the stuff that was extremely positive, kept the lightweightness of it, but we wanted to make it into a single system versus an assembly system.
Hey, check this out, Ursula. Look at, I'm scrolling through the photos. Look at all the colors.
So I'm over here selling the HRT hand warmers. Like, I'm already dropping links.
I know. I love those.
Well, they have been popular, and we're glad they're selling, and hopefully we see an uptick, especially this time of the year. So
no, I like it.
But
and the belt's great. The thing is it's so the Velcro that goes all the way around the inside. You can get the inner belt as well. Cool. So you put the inner belt on, and you could wear it daily or whatever, and then you can pull out the outer duty belt portion and you can put it on, and it adheres perfectly. It lines up, snaps in, and you don't get any of the shift on it. Like I've been wearing duty belts, for a long time in training and stuff like that, and sometimes you get some that things don't line up right. This thing, you put it on and it's so lightweight, it's super easy to don and clear it and all that stuff and get everything lined up on there.
So I do have a question too. Are you planning on or consider making suppressor covers?
That's a very interesting question, because as we're sitting at SHOT, just kind of chilling there, we started to come up with a list of things that we would like to see in a suppressor cover. So it could happen. It's one of those things that we've got to go through the prototyping, and then it's got to go through testing, and then we need to get it sent out to some end users for critical feedback, people that we trust, one, to keep it in-house because you don't want all of your dirty laundry out there, but we want that feedback so that we can try to make it to the best that we can possibly make it. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't come out with one, but unfortunately at the moment I have to keep a little hush-hush on anything that wasn't launched at SHOT.
I say that's a great idea because, we see a million suppressors, but not suppressor covers, and those things can get pretty daggone hot.
Yeah,
hey,
they do.
Hey, we're here at the very, very end, so Chris, tell our viewers and our podcast listeners how they can learn more about HRT Tactical.
Sure. If you want to go to our socials, it's just going to be HRT Tactical Gear. Facebook, HRT, IG, HRT Tactical Gear. We also have a YouTube account, but we try to mirror that on Rumble because we understand social media is not safe as far as being able to stick around, so we try to back everything up on Rumble.
That makes sense. Hey, folks, stick around. There's more to come, but thank you, Chris, for being on our show. We surely appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris.
We'll have you back on again soon.
The headrest safe is quick and easy to use. Some may even call it a game changer. The headrest safe acts as a safety net, protecting your belongings while keeping them out of sight and out of bounds of others, serving as security while also keeping your valuables in bounds. That's what the headrest safe provides for me. Game, set, match.
Hey, next time, come back to GunStuff for Scope Bumper. Montgomery Community College, you're wondering why they're on, but they've got a great program that you're going to be interested in, and also Fab Defense. So until that time, get your stuff from GunStuff.